Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. You guys know what time it is. Time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And for those of you who watch these type of videos regularly, please remember to click that like button down below. It would be greatly appreciated and won't take any time out of your day. So please remember to do so. Thank you. Now, over to the point. I had someone link me over on the Facebook fan page a couple of days ago. They're like, Jason, this coming Friday, and I can't find any confirmation that people always give me these announcements of when products are coming out, and I could never find the actual proof. But he's got a screenshot and it's saying, hey, look, it looks like Kinobody is going to release a collagen protein supplement on Friday. Do you think this is a scam? Now, interesting question. And this is hard for me to answer sometimes because you guys know I think all supplements are a scam by default. That is my default assumption. Okay. And so it's hard for me to say that there's evidence that something works. And I freely admit that bias. I've personally been sued by the supplement industry. I've had to deal with stuff over products that did turn out to be garbage later, even though people flatly denied it. So, I mean, I'm one of these people who've really, in certain ways, had my life destroyed for being anti-supplement. I tend to hold a pretty dim view of the industry. But, you know, it's always good for us to get those biases out there up front. I don't generally like supplements. I don't generally think they're useful. I generally think they're a waste of money. But good data is good data. So let's come over and discuss the whole collagen thing. Collagen is one of those I was obviously very, very skeptical of. And I've chatted with someone I know, actually a really good researcher named Alex Leaf. And we had a conversation about this a while back, fairly recently, within the last month or two, of discussing benefits for strength athletes specifically for collagen supplementation. What I kind of pointed out is that you shouldn't need that. If your protein intake is high enough, what is collagen made of? Well, it's made out of amino acids. Generally speaking, most of the amino acids that you consume, when you break them down and digest them, they're free-form aminos by the time they hit, your bloodstream. Okay, that's what we do with them. That is what we do with them. That's normally what happens. And your body can make any protein or amino acid strain that you utilize. It can make it yourself from the amino acids you consume. And if you get enough, especially your essential ones, this should be a non-issue. It shouldn't be a problem. It's something I've always kind of said. But Alex had pointed out to me that actually there's pretty strong data showing that, number one, some collagen peptides do survive the digestive tract. They do get absorbed and they're already pre-made. All right? And that there is data showing that they can enhance collagen synthesis in connective tissue. That when these are added, that even when it's compared, say something like 20 grams of collagen peptides, that would be the term we would use, collagen peptides, when compared to consuming, say, 20 grams from whey protein, did seem to have a higher collagen synthesis when measured, right, in test subjects. And the point that he even made is that for people like strength athletes, this could be of merit. All right, so the data is actually out there. There is independent data on that. So when people come to me, and now, by the way, people are like, do you have a link to that? No, I don't have a link to that. It was a study someone showed me 2 months ago that I looked at, and I don't save it. So I don't ever do that. By the way, I don't link studies anyways because I've gotten in trouble before with YouTube. Surprisingly enough, people are like, do you get in trouble on your channel for this? No. The only thing this channel has ever got an infraction for was linking studies. I know that sounds crazy. Like, we think you've done other stuff. No, nothing else I've done on this channel violates the rules. Nothing else I've ever done on this channel violates YouTube's rules, other than linking studies has apparently been an issue. So no, I don't link studies, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not risking my channel by linking you studies you can find yourself. I've historically had problems with it. Maybe it's the way people report it. So you can go find your own studies. I'm not getting my channel shut down or getting a strike. Go F yourself. Find it yourself. But over to the point. There is data on this showing that that's the case, and it's independent data. Now, because we have data showing a benefit on paper, does that mean that it's practical? Well, I guess that's subject to debate. This is what I would say with a product like this. Am I going to take it personally? No. Am I going to go buy collagen? No, because I can spend my money on other things more effective towards my goals. Okay, that's just simple reality. Generally speaking, are most strength athletes on properly structured programming with adequate protein, especially people who eat high protein, are they at risk of connective tissue damage to the point where they could benefit from this? Probably not. Probably not. Who's usually at highest risk of connective tissue damage? People with overuse injuries who don't know how to program. People on copious amounts of anabolics, on the wrong combinations of anabolics. Okay. Now, people say, well, are you saying that guys on gear should consider this? No, I think guys on gear should stop doing stupid combinations of substances that damage your connective tissue. That's what I think. And I'm going to put near the top of that list people who need aromatase inhibitors. Okay. There's your biggest culprit, crashing your estrogen levels. Thinking that estrogen is your enemy somehow, right? That as a man you're not supposed to have it. Well, you're the person who's going to rip a tendon, right there. That's you. You're basically an idiot. Crashing your E2 levels or enhanced lifters is a real quick way to tear a tendon. It's just easier for you to not do the combinations of things that cause that. Okay, there's your solution. Right? Or try to use slightly better form and don't ego lift so much if you're going to put a bunch of stuff in your body. There's your solution. Now, if a person had disposable income, and this is what we're going to come up to. If you have disposable income, this is always a question you should ask with supplements. Am I going to miss the money that I spend on a supplement? Because if you're going to take something like this, it's an insurance policy. You say, hey, I'm concerned about my tendons. I do occasionally get some tendonitis. Extra protein doesn't help. Usually extra protein helps, actually. It's usually the easy solution. You're concerned with this sort of injury, and it's disposable income, and it's money that you are not going to miss. Say knock yourself out if this is a particular concern for you. And that's true with any supplement that's got data that shows that it works. Because it may not have a practical benefit. Yes, on paper it shows a benefit. Are you personally at risk of tendon tears? I don't know. Depends on which training program it looks like. Depends on, are you prone to tendonitis with what you do? But the other question I would ask, is it an adjustment you can make in your training? I deal with this with clients. I have a client right now, we're going through some tendonitis issues. Okay, we're going through it now. I've had some in the past already. We've had to sort these. It does happen. It does happen even on decent programming. It has to do with sometimes you and individual exercise selection. It can be a problem. Your execution of a certain exercise could cause tendon problems. So these things happen. So is this something that you as a person might benefit from? Maybe. But it's going to come down to how much is that insurance policy worth to you? Is it a problem you're concerned with? Is it a problem that you have had in the past? Again, tendon issues. Then maybe something like that might be a viable insurance policy for you if it's within your budget. Is it within your disposable income? Because there is evidence that collagen protein, or at least collagen peptides, do seem to help with collagen synthesis and connective tissue. There's actually, and even though I was resistant to it, I'll admit there's actually pretty good data on it. There is data on it. So it comes down to the question of, is it practical for you as a person? Is it a good investment, a product like this for you as a person? I can't answer that. Can I say that for me personally, it probably isn't? No, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to spend my money on it. Would it be a good idea for you? Well, you have to weigh that out yourself. What I will say, though, is that as far as the actual data goes, yes, collagen peptides do show measurable benefit on paper in the lab. Okay, the data is actually there. There's independent data on it, unbiased independent data showing that. Is that have a practical, actual, real-world benefit to you as a person? Maybe, maybe not. It's kind of like me with creatine. I've never seen any benefits from creatine of any type at all. Creatine's cheap and it's not money I'm going to miss. It's $20 a year for creatine. Okay, it's $20 a year. I'm not going to miss that. I take it anyways. One of the very few supplements I take. I don't see any benefit from it, but I weigh in the possible tiny microscopic immeasurable benefits I might be getting versus the cost and say, well, you know what, that's probably a reasonable investment. And I would say take that approach with any supplement that seems to have a benefit, because the benefit on paper doesn't always translate into the real world. I would say creatine is one of those that, for me, if I'm getting any benefit from it, it is too small to actually measure. But it's also really, really cheap, and it's not money I'm going to miss, and there's good data supporting it. So that's what I would weigh out for any supplement like this. You have to do your own individual cost to benefit analysis. And I think that's a reasonable way to look at it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.